Alright, so with the release of Hu Tao's banner, we have gotten THOMA, the brand new 4-star. So, you may have not known, but THOMA is actually a shielder. So people have thought that he might be the new Pyro Singcho. He's not. He's not the Pyro Singcho that we were expecting it to be. I personally thought he would replace Zhongli. I thought it'd be 4-star Zhongli. But after looking at his kit, testing him out a little bit, I have come to the conclusion that he is not 4-star Zhongli, and he has his own situations where he is good, but he's not like amazing. So let's go over just THOMA real quick. So THOMA as a character, let's go over his talents. So his shield here. So this is where I messed up. This is where I thought THOMA would be the best shielder in the game, but I turned out to be wrong. So his damage absorption. So let's go over his shield. So his damage absorption starts off with 7.7% max HP, but this still not that much, right? Like Diona, this is at 10 level 2. Diona, 10 level 7, that's 10.8%. So it'll go up, but it's not amazing. However, THOMA's whole gimmick is that when he uses his burst, he gets a new shield. And every time someone does a normal attack on the team, or every, like, 2 or 3 normal attacks, he gets another shield. And it keeps on stacking until he reaches the max shield damage absorption, which is 21.1% max HP, plus 2,000 HP. Well, this is at talent level 2. Obviously, it'll be a lot higher when you level up your talents. So when I heard this, I thought THOMA was going to be, like, a great shielder, right? Better than Zhongli. But I was wrong. And one of the main reasons I was wrong is because he actually does not have any damage absorption on base talent. So as you can see here, he absorbs pyro damage 250% more effectively. However, Diona, look at her talents. This has a 75% damage absorption bonus already. That's a bonus. So that's why Diona is a better shooter than THOMA. So even though he has a lot of HP bonus, like you can get up to like I think it's like maybe 30% on talent level 10. The reason why this is not good is because you have to stack this shield. You have to stack this shield to reach this max absorption, right? The issue with this, and why I think THOMA is not that good of a shielder, is because your shield, well, if you're not fully invested in THOMA, your shield will break before you can actually get the max absorption. And that is the issue with THOMA as a character. See, right now I have 11,000 max HP. His absorption is not that much at base, right? So it's only 7.7 max percent HP. The odds of you being able to actually get this max damage absorption before an enemy breaks your first shield is very low. It's very hard to get that max absorption. I've tested in Spiral Abyss, and there's another issue too. You might be saying, well, your THOMA's not a build. He only has 11,000 HP, right? Well, that's another issue why I wouldn't say THOMA is that amazing of a character. Is because I have 16,000 HP on my Diona. Yet her shield, right off the bat, is much stronger than THOMA's. It is a lot stronger than THOMA's right off the bat. There's no stacking needed. Just hold it down. And she does a lot of damage absorption. So, just by that aspect, Diona is already a better shielder. Noelle is also a better shielder. If I'm not mistaken, I could check her talents here. So, she's based off of her defense. Well, you're going to be getting a lot of defense in Noelle, right? So, another issue with THOMA is his weapons. So, THOMA's weapons is not that bad. See, Black Tassel is a good choice. It's 34% HP. But the one issue, I guess they overlooked, they might have been a design choice. THOMA is a polearm character, and polearm characters are the one group of characters that do not have access to this sacrificial set, which is probably the set that shield characters benefit from the most of in this game. And the reason for that is, if you look at THOMA, see, right now he has 48% energy recharge. Talents, go to his burst, needs 80 energy. His skill produces 3 particles. You need about 200 to 240% energy recharge to get his burst on cooldown. It is an insane amount of energy recharge, and you don't have a lot of good options for that. You have Black Tassel, you don't want HP. All you got, like, you can put the catch, but it's not as good as THOMA. You only want the energy recharge buff, right? So the only good weapons, the weapons I would recommend for him are Favonius Lance, And that's it. Favonius Lance is good. Black Tassel helps too, obviously, if you have enough HP. Raiden's signature weapon, Engulfing Lightning, is pretty good, but you're not going to want to put that on him. You're going to want to put that on Raiden if you have her, obviously. So, that's an issue. That is an issue that Thoma requires so much investment as a shielder compared to Diona. My Diona, if you look at her artifacts, they aren't good. They aren't amazing. Like, they're just the bare minimum. In fact, she's not even running a full artifact set here. She's running 2-piece tenacity. But her shield is just very, very nice. It does the job perfectly, right? But Thoma's, on the other hand, he needs a lot of... Thoma needs a lot of investment. And that's why I think Thoma was... why people thought he would be really good, but he wasn't. He needs so much investment because, one, his weapons aren't amazing. He only has access to Black Tassel and Favonius Lance. As a free-to-play player... also, his artifact sets, they're kind of all over the place. See, I would run... Most people recommend 2-piece Noblesse Oblige, right? That's good. You know, you get your 20% attack boost for all party members. But there's that issue that you could use that, but you won't be... You have to have really, really good substats to reach that 200% energy recharge. That is really hard to get. Just off of substats in the one main stat here alone. Without 2-piece Emblem of Severed Fate, it is very difficult to get 200% plus energy recharge. So, as a free-to-play player, you're kind of stuck with Emblem of Severed Fate and Tenacity of the Millilith. You're not going to be getting much boosts here. We can go over Thoma's constellations real quick. They're not actually that bad. And this is where I'm going to go over why I think Thoma can be good in some situations. But in, like, 90% of other situations, I would recommend either Noelle, or Diona, Noelle, or Zhongli. This is so Constellation 1. So every time when he gets attacked, it reduces his shield cooldown and the burst cooldown by 3 seconds. That's pretty solid. It'll help a lot with his issues that he has for energy. Well, not a lot, just a little bit. Constellation 2 increases his burst uptime by 3 seconds. This is a really good constellation though, because I'm pretty sure it'll give you 100%. I think if I'm not wrong, it'll give you 100% uptime under burst. This is 5 seconds here, so that's 5 seconds. 5 seconds downtime. This reduces it by 3. So this Constellation 1 and 2 give you 100% burst uptime, which is pretty good. Or it'll always be up. So that's good for Thoma. Constellation 3 gives him more shield levels. This Constellation 4, I would say Constellation 4 Thoma is a lot better. It helps with a lot of his energy issues. At that point, you'll only need 65 energy to get his burst off, which is a lot better. So that one's good. This is for his burst. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend Constellation 5. Constellation 6 is where I would say you have to run Thoma with Hu Tao. Or you have to run Hu Tao with Thoma, not the other way around. The reason for that is, when a Blazing Barrier is obtained or refreshed, the damage of all party members' normal, charge, and plunging attacks is increased by 15% for 6 seconds. That is insane for a Hu Tao. And the reason for that is, all her damage is coming from charge attacks, especially if you're free to play. If you're doing that much extra damage, that is really helpful. I'm not 100% sure if it stacks. If it does, then you just have to run Thoma with Hu Tao. Which leads into where I think you would run Thoma on a team. So I can replace this team for a sec. So quick setup here. So the reason people will say run Hu Tao with Thoma is because you can swirl Pyro now. You can finally swirl Pyro with any animal character. Sucrose, Kazuha, Jean is there too. You can use Jean if you want. So the reason why we want Thoma here is because the reason why people said Thoma is going to be amazing for Hu Tao, because he's a shielder, which you want for Hu Tao, because she's always going to be low on HP, and she's a Pyro character, which is good for swirling Pyro. Hu Tao can't swirl Pyro, because she can't do off-field Pyro damage, and she does. It's very, very slow. Bennett is an option here. Bennett is an option, but he heals, and you don't want to heal Hu Tao. So that's an issue. So people said that Thoma's going to be perfect for Hu Tao. And in some situations, I would say Thoma's pretty good for Hu Tao. Like, the damage boost you get from swirling Pyro is insane. It's more than if you were to use, like, C6 Diona, I would say. I think it's more than using C6 Diona. But the issue is that Thoma's shield is very fragile. So yeah, sure, you'll get the boost, You'll get that damage boost from swirling pyro, but unless you fully invest into Thoma, like 40,000, 50,000 HP, you're gonna need a lot of, excuse me, you're gonna need a lot of overinvestment in this guy for him to protect Hu Tao. Compared to Noelle, Diona, Zhongli, they require very, very low investment, and they will protect Hu Tao just fine. Especially Diona, which has where is it? Sacrificial bow. That will give you like 100%, not 100% uptime, but it'll give you a lot more shield time for Hu Tao. You want that. You want shield for Hu Tao. If I was personally to say this though, I'm not sure where else in the game you would run Thoma. He is a good character with a lot of investment, but that's the issue. You don't want to invest. When it comes to shield characters in Genshin, you do not want to have to invest all of these resources into a shield character. And when you think about when you invest in a shield character, they come with some damage. Zhongli, best shield in the game, and he has a crazy burst damage. Noelle, C6 Noelle, also has crazy burst damage. Thoma's burst damage is not good. By no means would I say, like, Thoma's burst damage is amazing. It is really bad. At talent level 1, it's 88%. No, 58%. It only goes up to like 100. It's not that good. In fact, it's not good at all. I would not recommend using Thoma for off-field damage support. Even with his second talent here, he gets more damage based on his HP, but it's still not that much damage. So, overall, this is what I recommend. This is what I recommend for people who want Thoma. By the way, this is only for people who are going by Spiral Abyss meta and stuff. If you want Thoma because you like the character, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, right? He can still be good. I would say, though, if you already have, like, Diona, especially if she's, like, C2 or C6, or if you have Noelle built, you don't really need Thoma. Sure, he's good for swirling with Hu Tao, but, I mean, like, there's an extent to it. For a free-to-play player, this is for my, like, if you're pay-to-play, you probably want to get Thoma. Thoma would be good for pay-to-play. Like, if you're going to C6 Thoma, go ahead and get him. He's going to be good. But if you're free-to-play, you'll maybe get, like, no constellations, maybe C1 or C2. It's like, it's only okay. He's only okay. He will not protect your Hu Tao to the extent you want him to. And if you do, so you might have to play around this. You could play around it. You can do his shield, burst, and then when you use your Hu Tao skill, just do normal attacks a couple times, and then do your charge attacks, like, or do 2 normal twice, and then charge. You can work around it, but you just have to be very careful. So, final thoughts before I end this off. Thoma is a good character, to an extent. He is not the best shielder in the game. In fact, I would go to say he is the second worst shielder in the game. The only character worse shielding than him is Jinyan. He can be good in some situations, like with Hu Tao, like, especially if he's C6. But besides that, like, if you just want a shielder for your team, and you don't have Hu Tao, he's not worth it. I would not recommend going for Thoma if you have Diona or Noelle already. It's not worth it. He's good to an extent. His damage is really bad. His shielding capabilities are only okay. To that extent. Like, they're only okay. So, that's where I'm gonna end it off here. If you want Thoma, go ahead for him. But he's not amazing. He's not an amazing shielder like Zhongli or Noelle or Diona. But if you want to swirl Pyro, you need a character to help swirl Pyro for your Hu Tao or maybe even your Diluc. I would not recommend it for Diluc though. But if you want that, he would help. He would help you swirl Pyro, get that extra damage boost for your Pyro main, and do that extra damage. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Thoma. Honestly, like, if you want to invest in him, go ahead. You don't want to invest in him, you're not losing anything much really. But yeah. You want more of this, I stream on Twitch. So check that out. And yeah. Thanks for watching.